Hey everyone, PyroFalkon here with a tutorial video on defeating the final boss of Dragon, a game about a dragon. A link to this action RPG platformer can be found in the video description. First I'll talk strategy, but if you just want to see the strategy in action, I've provided an annotation here that will skip to the second part of this video. The final boss is the king of the land, piloting a mech. He hits extremely hard, so you'll need preparation. First you'll need to be at the maximum level for all your stats. A good place to grind is the castle approach area, and simply kill everything while moving left across the top path. You'll gain around 2200 gold per run, and if you can make it this far at all, you should be able to get through it without taking much damage. Second, you'll want as many of the bonus treasures as possible. It's not required to have them all, but the more you have, the better. You can tell if you have all the treasures in any particular level by the presence of a green check mark beside the level name. You'll want to especially capture any treasure that increases your defense, health, and breath charge. Now onto the strategy. The king has 5 distinct attacks, and for the most part, whichever attack he uses will be determined randomly. The RNG can make or break you here, but as long as you fight him correctly, you have a good chance of beating him. His first attack, and the one he will always open the fight with, is a rocket fist that travels from right to left along the ground. This can be easily avoided by jumping over it, or you can damage it with acid breath. You'll see it fly the other way in the background, and it will skid along the ground from right to left from the right edge of your screen. As long as it's moving in the foreground, it's vulnerable, and attacking it should always be your second priority. His second attack is to raise a blue orb which spawns icicles that travel from the right edge of the screen to the left as well. This attack may be paired with the rocket fist, and it may be tough to avoid if you have to deal with both attacks at once. Time your jumps, hover, or duck to avoid the icicles. You can strike the blue orb itself with your fire breath, but you can only hit it once per cycle before it makes a distinctive tinking sound, indicating that it can no longer be damaged. If both the orb and the rocket fist are active, ignore the orb, though you still need to concentrate on dodging the icicles. His third attack is telegraphed when the mantle of his cape blinks. The mantle will shoot a plume of fire that covers most of the screen. The only safe place is to stand directly underneath the mantle, but luckily he will not pair this attack with another. When the mantle blinks, you'll have a couple seconds to attack it with ice breath. If you do this, sustain the attack, count to 2, then duck to avoid it. That said, if you fight properly, you may not need to destroy the mantle to win the fight. His fourth attack is the most annoying. Black clouds will appear at the top edge of the screen, and the lightning rod at the right edge of the screen will spawn a vertical lightning bolt that travels from the left edge of the screen to the right. There is no way to avoid this attack usually. With luck, sometimes the lightning will dissipate before it goes all the way to the right, so you may think you're safe by hiding under the mantle. Unfortunately, this often doesn't happen. Usually the lightning will travel all the way to the right regardless. This is important, and will be the main factor in the strategy. I'll discuss how to deal with this in a moment. His final attack is to lower the head of the mech down toward you. He may pair this attack with the lightning. The head is his only true vulnerable spot. Attacking any of the other aforementioned weak points can disable attacks, but will not actually damage the king's overall health. When his head is lowered, however, he is vulnerable. However, when he lowers his head, he will shoot 2 lasers from the head that travel to the left. It's nearly impossible to dodge them if you try to jump and hover between them. Your best bet is to duck and hope he misses, although sometimes he'll shoot the lasers while dropping his head down more. You are practically guaranteed to take the hit in this case. Altogether, the biggest threat is the lightning rod, since it's impossible to consistently avoid. The basis of the overall strategy is to eliminate the lightning rod as soon as possible, even if you have to take damage to do so. Luckily, as long as the black clouds are active, you can hit the lightning rod with your lightning breath from anywhere on the ground. Once the lightning rod breaks, you can dodge the other attacks and strike his weak points as is convenient for you. Now that you know all the details, let's see the strategy in action. His first attack is always the rocket fist. Attack it with a couple shots of acid breath as you will. His next few attacks are determined randomly, but he usually goes through his main 4 attacks at least once before he starts to lower his head. Your goal here is to always attack the lightning rod when you have the chance, even if you have to take a hit to do so. You won't live if you take a hit on every attempt, so you should still attempt to dodge if anything else is going on. Sometimes it won't be possible, especially if the king hits you with his head lasers and the lightning bolt at the same time. Regardless, the moment you see those black clouds, switch to the lightning breath and attack. Sustain the breath until you see the rod blink white. You can only hit the lightning rod once per attack cycle, so the moment it blinks, stop your attack and focus on dodging the aftermath. If you think you're going to take damage while attacking the lightning rod, such as if he's attacking with his lightning and his head lasers at the same time, your best strategy is to stay as far to the left edge of the screen as you can when you take the hit and then duck afterward. This way, it's likely that you'll be hit with the lightning bolt, and ducking will allow you to then avoid the head lasers once the invincibility frames terminate. If you're closer to the middle of the screen, there's a chance you'll be hit with the head lasers and the lightning bolt, causing far more damage than necessary. If the king lowers his head and you're safe from the lightning, get near it and spam your claw attack. Don't waste your breath, literally, on attacking the head. The claws will do the damage, and you'll need to save your breath charge for a quick lightning breath if he activates his lightning rod. The lightning rod breaks after about a half dozen hits. Once it does, prioritize breaking the rocket fist with your acid breath. The rocket fist is easier to hit and harder to dodge among the remaining 3 weapons. Remember that if you see the mantle blink, just drop everything and run to the right under the mantle to stay safe. You can opt to attack the mantle or the blue orb when you have a chance, but if you have confidence in your dodging skills, it may not be necessary. As long as the lightning rod has broken and you're wailing on his lowered head with your claws, you will eventually win. He will hit you with the sweeping head lasers a maximum of once per cycle. Otherwise, you can simply duck the lasers to stay safe. Good luck against that king and his robot knight! Leave a like or subscribe if you're so inclined, and check out my other videos where I basically do, nothing but normal Let's Plays, and weekly streams on Hitbox every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you again for another video.